Yeah, that I might get out there.
There's someone home with you?
Where did you meet him?
We're good.
Yeah, we get kids. You guys have a lot of things in common.
Yeah, music, exactly.
He is really good.
Yeah, he is split. Yeah,
I remember
We only got a little more.
We have our first
Is this one here?
I didn't find them on the meat store that way. I picked them up at the antique store in Newport and took it out. You're just hitting everything. Oh,
Sarah, do you know what they say? They say
Well, I bet I could.
yeah, you can have
No, I wouldn't. I can see how somebody would. I mean, I am a model.
We had one.
Ooh, let me get the end. Thank you. Some of those are demonstration paintings from my workshops. Some of them might be my current. You know, I went to tonight.
Yeah, I want one.
I mean, I
A drawing?
That's my car.
Thank you for having us. And over there, check out the vineyard. I have to look at it. How do you say your name? Trios?
Sounds fun.
Is that close? I'm a speech therapist, so I get upset if I don't know how to say things. Is that awful? Okay, but I don't always know. Anyway, we come here. We're going to hear Sarah talk with us. Sarah Sedgwick, right here. And she's going to talk to us in just a minute, but I want to thank you on behalf of the Symphony again because we are sponsoring this evening. And if you haven't, put your name in to get a ticket for one of our subscription series. I think if that's what it is. There she is. There's 2 people with baskets. You just have to fill out a form, and they're going to draw tonight, right? Right before. You don't have to be here, but fill it out quickly, you know, because she's going to do that. Remember, if you're drinking alcohol, to enjoy it. Just don't take it with you. And after Sarah finishes, we'll just have a couple final announcements. And it's really been nice to have you guys go along with us in this hot Eugene evening, which we've had all summer. It's good and bad, I guess. I don't know. Okay, let's hear Sarah.
Hi. Is this working?
You have to hold it up real close.
Okay. I was under the impression that I was going to get questions, but I can talk. This is my solo show. It's my 3rd solo show at Oregon Art Supply. And these are all new still lives from the last maybe 10 months or so. And these portraits are also my work. They're all painted from life. I don't paint from photographs. They're all live models. Some of them are demonstration paintings from my workshops. And some of them are just friends and models. So, yeah, I think I mentioned that I don't paint from any photo reference, so all these still lives also are painted from direct observation, just like I'm painting right here. I set something up on a table in my studio, shine a light on it, and paint away. And for the last maybe 8-10 months, I've been making paintings using these glass floats and other things that I picked up at the Oregon coast. I did this kind of mini painting residency outside of Newport last October, and I started painting these beach artifacts and just really, pardon my cell phone, kind of, it was mine, it was not the audience. I just kind of really started getting into these sort of beach-inspired paintings, and I don't know when I'm going to get sick of painting these floats and move on to something else, but I know something will be coming soon, so if anybody has any ideas, maybe you could make a suggestion to me after this. So, yeah, I live here in Eugene. I've got a studio in my home. I teach private lessons out of my home, and I also teach here at Oregon Art Supply in this very space. I do at least one workshop a month here. I've got a 3-day still life painting workshop happening here the last weekend of August, and I've got 2 coming up in September, including Zorn Palette Portrait, which is a limited palette portrait painting workshop. We use three colors and white to make these paintings. Wow. Yeah. And it's pretty cool what you can do with just 3 colors. It saves you some money on paint, and it really simplifies things. It's a lot of fun. We do 3 different models, a different live model every day during the workshop, and it's a lot of fun. So if you want more information about my classes or any other classes that are held right here in this space, the Oregon Art Supply website has all that stuff. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about?
How did you get started doing this? What inspired you to do it?
Well, I've been painting all my life. I was 10 the first time I ever oil painted. I painted a horse, and he walked away in the middle of the painting. But I kept painting. It didn't turn me off oil painting for good. I've been painting still life as my main thing for about 7 or 8 years. And that's about the time I moved out to Oregon. I started painting these still lives, working smaller, that kind of stuff, and I'm still doing it. I've got a blog that I post all my work on, and I do a lot of selling online also. So how did I get started? Well, I did go to art school way back in the day. I went to Maryland Institute College of Art, which is in Baltimore, and I graduated from there in 2001. And I've been living out here in Eugene for about 8 years now. So,
Cool.
Anybody else have a question?
Have
Audience?
you ever painted any horses since that?
Actually, no. But I'd like to. You know, it's kind of it's an issue. Since I don't like to paint from photographs, getting a horse to hold still would be an issue. But I would like to try it.
Maybe you can find a stuffed one.
Taxidermy, awesome. I have a horse skull over here right behind Jane. So I lied to you, I have painted a horse. That's a real live horse skull that one of my models actually lent me when she went out of the country for a year. So
Are you sure this isn't from that horse?
No, I'm just kidding. I couldn't be 100% sure. Yeah. Because that was Ohio where I grew up, and this is an Oregon horse skull. Probably not the same horse. I don't know. Anyway.
So Sarah, do you want to talk a little bit about, you know, you've been working on this painting since 5:30, and you've had an audience and people talking to you, and you have this wonderful dialogue going on, and how do you manage, and how does that affect your work with all of that going on and your concentration, or do you need less concentration to get what it is you're after?
I like the distractions. I'm not gonna lie. I think if I was at home alone painting in my studio, I would be like, oh yeah, I need to go check my email, or I need some water or something. But if I'm here with people watching and I can't take a break and I can't stop, that's actually really good for me. And I like the talk in the background. I listen to a lot of talk radio while I'm painting, so I like the noise behind me. And like I mentioned, I do a lot of teaching. I do a lot of demonstrating while I'm teaching, so I've gotten really used to people asking me questions while I'm painting. I like it. I find that I can easily run my mouth while, you know, the art side of my brain takes over and just does this. The one thing I know that Rebecca's gonna throw me out as soon as all you guys leave, so I probably won't get to finish this, and that's the only bad part. Painting here tonight, I'm gonna have to leave it unfinished.
You can take a photograph of it.
No, I don't really work from photos. I try not to. My work tends to not be quite as good when I work from photos. So, no, I wouldn't do that. It would be kind of fun to try to finish it just from memory, and I'll probably do that. Yeah.
Or just retitle it, Unfinished Still Life.
Right. Exactly, yeah.
Some things in life are that way.
This show will be up through the end of August, and if you guys come back in a couple weeks, maybe you'll see this one just like this. No, I really do enjoy the interaction while I'm working. I think that there are so many things that distract us anyway while we're trying to concentrate and get in the zone. These are the good kind of distractions.
But does it also change the kind of detail or lack, I mean, you know, that
Yes.
you have to get it quickly and therefore you paint in a different way than if you're really, because you're not fussy. I mean, you're not like just, you get it down beautifully, but it has this kind of edge to it. So it isn't this really, you know, every little, you know what I mean?
I do. Thank you. I try to stay loose in my work, and I don't think there's any inherent value in painting faster. I don't necessarily think an artist that can make a painting faster is a better artist, but the longer I paint, the faster I do tend to get, and a lot of that has come from doing landscape painting. When you're outside in a landscape and the sky's changing and the light's changing, you've got maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours if you're lucky with that lighting situation. So I found that learning how to speed up when it's appropriate has been an asset. And I'm not the kind of artist that's gonna sit there with a tiny 2-hair paintbrush and just paint every eyelash normally. But this, yeah, you're right, it's a little looser than I would normally do because I have been trying. I did start this painting at 5:30, and I've been trying to get enough on here so you would have something to look at when you all got here. So, I think sometimes it's a really good challenge to set for yourself, to say, oh, maybe I really don't feel like painting today. Just set a timer for half an hour and do something, you know, just starting and saying, I'm going to see where I get in 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Sometimes that'll make you paint all day, and if you still don't feel like doing it after 30 minutes, well, okay, you tried. But so in some of my workshops, we do timed exercises where the students will do a painting in 10 minutes. And I also do limited brushstroke exercises where we'll do a painting with 25 brushstrokes.
Oh my goodness.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed what you can do in 25 brushstrokes. And next time I'm on the art walk, maybe I'll demonstrate that for everyone. It's a lot of fun. That would be a little stressful, but yeah. So there's all kinds of ways to spice up your normal painting routine. Anybody else have a question? No? Thanks for coming. Thank you.
So we want you to feel free to look around, talk to her. She's a teacher. You know, she'll teach you a lot, I'm sure, in 3 minutes or something. Maybe. Just a couple announcements. The next art walk is in September 4th. I don't think you get wine on this one. I think it's just a straight art walk,
No,
right?
it's a celebration of Latino art and music.
Oh, that's
We
nice.
have a salsa dance party in Union Square, and Latino artists selling their work. It's going to be a blast.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fun. That's fun. It's everybody downtown. And then I'm supposed to tell you about this event tonight. It's called No Shame Eugene, and it's at the Atrium. And it sounds like it's original little acts that people have written, and the first people in there get to perform their work. And it starts at 7:30. So go on down there, and they say you could come on your own, come as a performer, or there's no shame in just watching. So it sounds like it could be really interesting. So we just want you to know about that. Remember, don't leave with your alcohol. And this is your last chance to put in the basket for the drawing, and we're going to draw in just a couple of minutes. So they may not be here the winter, but you might be. So if you want to hang around just a couple more minutes, we're going to do that. Thank you all for coming. It's been really nice.
Thanks, Steve, for being an awesome host. Thank you for hosting. I got it today. Okay.
host in the Portland Art Museum.
Hi, I'm Sarah Sedgwick. I have a solo show of paintings at the gallery at the Watershed in downtown Eugene right now, running through February 8th. I have all original oil paintings on view. They are painted from life, not photo reference, and I paint still lives, portraits, and nudes. Oh, also some landscapes. So please come down and see it. The gallery is open from 11 to 5, Tuesday through Saturday, and it's located on the corner of 3rd and Mill Street in the Watershed building. Thanks.
Gallery at the Watershed. We're located at 321 Mill Street. We are 2 doors west of Rye, and you can park in the back on Mill Street. There's a great big parking lot. Come in through the gates, come in through the courtyard, and come say hello. We have some beautiful shows going on. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Robert Kanega, and I'm the curator at the gallery at the Watershed, which is where we are now. And this is a group show that was co-curated with Susie Loudermilk, who teaches printmaking at Lane Community College. And we put this show together from printmakers who have a connection to Eugene and who have lived here or worked here or done workshops here. And one of the major players is a guy named Dan Weldon. And Dan lives in Sag Harbor, New York. And I met him a number of years ago doing a workshop in Santa Fe and brought him out here to Lane Community College to do another show. And I showed him at Opus 6 along with the show at, along with the workshop at LCC. And he has a real deep connection to printmaking in the Northwest. He comes out here often. And he is the guy that invented solar plate. And he did it on a golf course in Japan many, many years ago. He was playing with a couple of Japanese businessmen, and the caddy was interpreting. And Dan asked them what they did. And they said, well, we make golf balls. And he reached over and picked up a golf ball and looked at it, and he says, how do you get the signature on there? And so they took him to the factory the next day and they showed him the process. And from that experience, he ended up with the polymer that he uses for this. After about 7 years of research and working with the company, now you can buy the solar plate and create images of your own. And it's quite an amazing process. I use it in my work almost exclusively in my photographic etchings. And Dan uses it with frosted glass and draws on the glass and then prints that. And it's a wonderful process. But everything in this show, we have everything but stone lithography, I think. We've got etching, we've got mezzotint, we've got wood block, we've got linoleum block, we've got engraving. It's just really a rich, beautiful show. And if you get a chance, please come and see it. One of the things that I love about solar plate and using it in my studio, I have a non-toxic studio. I don't use any paint thinners. I use turpentine, but real turpentine, not the stuff that they gum turpentine, the stuff that's cheap. I use real English distilled turpentine, and it's much less volatile and you use much less of it. I don't use any type of paint thinners, Gamsol, any of that stuff. It's all very toxic. And this is, I use a lot of water-based inks, and when I use oil-based inks, I still clean with soap and water. I've got brushes that I've had for 20 years that I clean with soap and water and they look brand new. And the solar plate, because you're creating an etching without acid, you're doing it with the sun and water. Then you're not breathing the fumes, you're not getting your hands in the acid, you're not, permeating your space with this horrible chemicals. And it's much less toxic, and most of the time when I'm washing plates, I do it in a dish sink that I take outside and wash the plate in that, and then I let that dry in the plate so that I can scrape up if there's any residue and throw it away. That way it's not flushing down the toilet into the system. And it's just another step that you can take to be a little more safe. And it's a great alternative for people that want to do small presses, pieces relief, like I did today. It's easy, it's efficient, and it teaches you a lot of care because it's kind of hard. But it's a great alternative to any other type of printmaking. Okay, now that I've got the ink on the plate, I'm going to take this over. Ink all over my hands. Not a good thing. Voila. No, I went up a little later. I went up on Tuesday and shot the vineyard from up on the hill. You got a good straight-on view. Since it's you, okay.
Okay, I think we're going to turn the mic over to Beverly Sosi now, the director of the Jacobs Gallery, and she's going to talk about our next artist.
Thank you. So sadly, Rajin, well, not so sadly, I suppose, she's in Mexico right now. She's soaking up a lot of the things that inspire her work here, like the folk art and the colors and stuff. So I know her quite well, and I do know some of the processes she uses for her work. I will tell you, if you don't know who she is, she's a local artist. She's been here, went to U of O early years in art, but because of, and then as time went on, she had a family, had a business, worked too many hours, put art on the back burner. About 6 years ago, she retired and really became a full-time artist. She considers herself a mixed media artist, and she's having a lot of fun kind of exploring where it goes. Mixed media, just what's nice about it, it means you're always evolving and changing and trying new things. For a while, at that retirement time, she explored plein air painting, but I think it just wasn't doing it for her. Well, it wasn't because she says so, but because she started exploring these kinds of images. You see, everything that isn't this work in the gallery is her work, and it's, well, the title of the show, Unexpected Journey, and then both of their names, this is the India series for him, and for Rajin it was Out of My Mind, or yeah, Out of My Mind. At first I thought that maybe meant it was driving her crazy, but what it meant is these are all works from her imagination, from her mind, and she's just trying to process what she thinks and believes in, and she's used a lot of human images as well as nature, birds, insects, and a variety of things like that, as you'll see. And hopefully you'll have a chance to come back and look. A lot of her work here is the paper clay process, which only briefly I'll tell you, if you haven't experienced it, it's like a paper mache product that dries, air dries. She uses acrylic paint on any of the pieces, and sometimes she'll utilize collage with it. There are pieces on the very back wall back there that are all collage, no paper clay, on panels or on canvases. And you know, if you had time to look around, she has little statements about it. She puts a lot of thought into this, and this is her way of getting who she is out of her mind. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you don't have time to look really, you know, closely at all of the work, you know, I have the pleasure in my position as artistic director to put artists together, hang the shows, and you know, I'm always I haven't ever been disappointed in what comes in, so I thank the artists wherever Mike is and Rajeen. Thank you.